Hello and good afternoon to all of you. In this lecture, I will be discussing with you about the techniques of writing a research proposal. So, very important for every researcher to write the research proposal because before starting any research, you need to have the proposal. So, you can see the picture and you can observe that yes, I have a thesis topic means when someone don't have any proposal, research proposal or any topic, but you can see these just cartoons are suggesting that how much confused the researchers are feeling. And, some people they are very lucky to have the topics and sometimes they receive the topics from the research supervisors or whatever because of their supervisors might be working on any project, so that is why. But it's very important to have the research proposal. So why all this bother about a detailed proposal for my study before I even begin? Things are going to change once I get into the study. That is true. Changes are inevitable, but a little thought now will save you a lot of grief later. Usually the researchers, they always debate with their supervisors that I will handle everything. Let me start my research work and I don't need any detailed histories at the initial stages. But we learn supervisors, the research guides, they suggest these students that you must have some sort of the idea. You must be aware about the background of the issue. You must have some research proposal. It varies from 5 pages to the 50 pages. So what is a research proposal? So various terminologies are used to mean a research proposal depending on why the research is carried out. The research outline is also another name given to the research proposal, the synopsis of the research, plan of research, research project or proposal, thesis plan, etc. A plan of future activities of a research project, some sort of preconceived framework for starting the activities. So these are the different names given to the research proposal. Whatever the name you give, but it is the plan of future activities of a research project or research work. So what is a proposal? It communicates researchers' intentions, makes clear the purpose of intended study, its justification, and provides a step-by-step plan for conducting the study. So, with the help of research proposal, the researchers they communicate about their research intentions, that what they will perform or what kind of the research they will conduct. A written plan of a study, it is also the written plan of the study. The research proposal identifies problems, state questions or hypotheses, identifies variables and defines terms, the subject to be included in the sample, the instruments to be used, the research design chosen, the procedures to be followed, how the data will be analyzed, all are spelled out in some detail. So the research proposal must contain all these things. You cannot say that you will manage all the things in the incoming time or later, but one need to manage all these things now. So functions of a research proposal. What functions a research proposal performs? A primary function of your proposals are to sell your research idea. Whatever the idea you have, through the research proposal, we are selling our idea and to prepare yourself to do the research in a systematic way. It introduces your topic and your focus, that what will be your topic, because we start with the topic page or the title page, and it also gives some idea about the focus of your research. It presents the symbolic stance and thesis that you will develop. Usually, research proposals contains the contents of the thesis that what will your research will cover. Explains the significance, importance of the research. Explains your research method, how you will approach this project or your research. So steps in developing research proposal involve the title page and the table of contents, introduction, the statement of the problem, scope of the study, objectives of the study, hypothesis or research questions, literature review, procedure of the study, limitations and delimitations of the study, bibliography or references. This is one of the pattern that if you are writing the research proposal, do follow these steps. Another pattern is, just suppose components, elements of research proposal include title page or the title of the research work, introduction, statement of problem, rationale or justification or significance of research, scope and limitations of the study, review of literature, objectives of the research, though it's very, most of the times we write objectives before the literature review, operational definitions of terms used, and also the theoretical framework, hypothesis, methodology used, time schedule, work plan, budget, estimated cost built for the research projects. For funding purposes, you need to mention these things. Organization of the report, chapter outline, bibliography, references. Before this one, the conclusions, appendixes. So the title page. The first page or the title of the research, researcher's name of the institute, organization where the researcher belongs, name of the sponsoring organization, name of the supervisor, co-supervisor, date, etc. In selecting the title, the following points should be taken care of. Reflect the theme of the research, be self-explanatory, be brief, language be simple and unambiguous. The title, we are talking about the title. Bracket, arithmetic figures, etc. be avoided. Avoid confusing meanings. It should be concise and descriptive. Often titles are studied in terms of a functional relationship because such titles clearly indicate the independent and dependent variables which the research will use. However, if possible, think of an informative but catchy title. An effective title not only pricks the reader's interest, but also persuades him or her favorably towards the proposal. Like this one, this is the format of the cover page. You do not need to mention this one. I have just named this page. The title, a proposal for title, whatever the uncle or PhD or any other, the study of consumer expectations and perceptions towards consumer loans by name designated for your convenience to understand. A proposal for title of the whether you are doing MPhil, whether you are doing any other project or PhD or any work mentioned here. The study of consumer expectations and perceptions towards consumer loans, just suppose one of the example. By the name of the researcher, designation, name of the organization, date, and if you are doing MPhil PhD, must mention the name of the supervisor. A proposal, another title page. A proposal for title of the degree submitted to name of the recipient by proposer's name, designation, name of the organization, date. How to write research proposal? Now the first step in writing the research proposal involves to write the abstract, which is a brief summary approximately 300 words. It should include the research questions, the rationale for the study, the hypothesis, if any, the method and the main findings. So your proposal must contain the abstract and it should not be more than 300 words. And then the introduction. The main purpose of the introduction is to provide the necessary background or context for your research problem. How to frame the research problem is perhaps the biggest problem in writing, in proposal writing. However, try to place your research question in the context of either current hot area or an older area that remains viable. So when you are writing the introduction, try to provide the necessary background of your research and try to frame your research problem is perhaps the biggest problem in writing the proposal. Just mentioned there that this is the most biggest problem or very important or urgent problem which needs solution. So however, try to place your research question to the context of either a current or hot area, that the issue is under debate, it's very debatable, currently the researchers or the academicians, they are talking about. Secondly, you need to provide a brief but appropriate historical background of your work which you are doing. You must mention the historical background, that what in past people have said. Thirdly, provide the contemporary context in which your proposed research question occupies the central stage. In comparison of the other research studies, where your proposal stands. So finally, identify key players and refer to the most relevant and representative publications. In short, try to paint your research question in broad brushes and at the same time bring out its significance. The introduction generally covers the following elements: the state the research problem, which is often referred to as the purpose of the study. It provides the context and set the stage for your research question in such a way as to show its necessity and importance. Its necessity. So in the problem statement we mentioned that why it is necessary and important. Present the rationale of your proposed study and clearly indicate why it is worth doing. Briefly describe the major issues and sub-problems to be addressed by your research. Identify the key independent and dependent variables of your experiment or your research. Alternatively, specify the phenomena you want to study. State your hypothesis or theory, if any, for exploratory or phenomenological research. You may not have any hypothesis. Set the delimitations or boundaries of your proposed research in order to provide a clear focus. Provide definitions of key concepts. This is optional. So what you need to write in the background of the research proposal: establish the area of research in which your work belongs and to provide a context for the research problem. Just relate your work with the past studies. Provide information to the research topic. Explain your topic. In an introduction, the writer should create, number one, reader interest in the topic. Number two, lay the broad foundation for the problem that leads to the study. Then, problem statement or statement of the problem. When you start a research, you have a question that you wish to seek answer for. The question leads to a problem that needs to be solved by the research. Begin the research with a description of the problem or thesis statement. To suppose a statement of the problem. A problem might be defined as the issue that exists in the literature, theory or practice that leads to a need for this study. Means it is a problem that might be defined as the issue that exists in the literature, theory or practice that leads to a need for this study. Effective problem statements answer the questions: why does this research need to be conducted? Purpose or rationale of the study. The purpose states succinctly what the researcher proposes to investigate. The purpose should be a concise statement providing a framework to which details are added later. The scope of the study. Significance of the study contains 3 paragraphs based on 3 questions. Why the study is important? How the study is important? For whom the study is important? In the scope of the study, you need to mention why your study is important to be conducted. Why the study, how the study is important, what makes your study important, and who will use or who will be the beneficiary of your research report or of your research. Justification for the study. Key questions to ask yourself at this point. How I identified the specific research problem I wish to investigate? Have I indicated what I intend to do about this problem? Have I put forth an argument as to why this problem is worthy of investigation? Have I made my assumptions explicit? Now the objectives. This is also one of the most important portion of your research proposal. And remember, these are linked with your problem statement. Even related with your topic, then problem statement, and they continue to be linked with the hypothesis of your study, if any. So objectives should be clearly stated and specific in the nature. Each sub-objective should delineate only one issue. Don't mix various issues in a single statement or in a single objective. Action-oriented words such as to determine, to find out, to ascertain, in formulating such objectives, which should be numerically stated. Objectives should be attainable, measurable, achievable, and testable. Then the research questions are hypotheses. Research questions are relevant to normative or census type of the research. Questions are most often used in qualitative inquiry. Hypotheses are relevant to the theoretical research and are typically used in quantitative inquiry. Study, these are primarily the terms that describe the variables of the study. The researcher's task is to make his or her definitions as clear as possible. Then, the literature review is also the very important part of your proposal. It shows that you are aware of the literature study that is required in your research area. Your review a substantial amount of reading material before writing your proposal. shows that you have the theoretical knowledge in your chosen research area. By reviewing related literature at this stage, it will make you aware of other similar work which has been done, expose methodologies that have been adopted and which you may use or adopt, provide sources of information that you do not have yet. By reviewing related literature at this stage, it will inform you if a chosen area has already been researched extensively, approaches that you do not know of before. And another part of your proposal is the methodology, which is very important, because how you will solve or you will analyze or you will reach the conclusion. So the methodology describes data that you will use in the research, the methodology to be adopted, and justify your choice of methodology. This portion describes the data you will use, the methodology you will adopt, and the choice of the methodology, the research design you use. So it informs readers kind of data going to be collected, research procedure, interviews, observations, questionnaire, the primary, secondary of the data, the tables of the years of the sources of the data, the types of the time series data. If outside organization involved, explain how you are going to get hold of the data, indicate why the methodology is used. If existing methodology is not to be used, explain why you need to use an adapted methodology. For quantitative studies, the method section typically consists of following sections. Design: is it a questionnaire study or laboratory experiment? What kind of design do you choose? Subject or participants, or subjects or participants? Who will take part in your study? What kind of sampling procedure do you use? Instruments: what kind of measuring instruments or questionnaires do you use? How do you choose them? Are they valid and reliable? Procedure: how do you plan to carry out your study? What activities are involved? How long does it take? The results: obviously you do not have results at the proposal stage. However, you need to have some idea about what kind of data you will be collecting and what statistical procedures will be used in order to answer your research question or test your hypothesis. The limitations of the study: it is not possible to include all aspects of a particular problem. State what is not included. A too wide area of investigation is impractical and will lead to problems, so specify the boundaries of your research. Bibliography: it refers to a descriptive list of sources which have been consulted to write an article or a relevant information. For bibliographies, is taken right from the source. It includes all the sources: books, journals, magazines, websites, articles, organized alphabetically, listing the author names in the reverse order. Just like the books, single author, a typically bibliography entry for a book has 3 parts: the author, title, the publication information. This last includes place of publication, publisher, and the date of publication. These will appear as follows: suppose author's last name, first name, title of book, place of publication, publisher, copyright, year. Suppose Crystal David, English is a global language, Cambridge University Press. Cass and John F. Civilizing, the machine, technology, and just suppose these are the few examples. If you're using the multiple authors, you can use like this one. So I will be discussing with you about the referencing pattern in another class. So, what are the common mistakes made by the researchers while they are writing the research proposal? So, failure to provide the proper context to frame the research question, failure to delimit the boundary conditions for your research, failure to cite landmark studies, means very important studies, failure to accurately present the theoretical and empirical contributions by the researchers, failure to stay focused on the research question, failure to develop a coherent and persuasive argument for the proposed research, too much detail on minor issues but not enough detail on major issues, too much rambling, going all over the map without a clear sense of direction, and the best proposal moved towards forward with the ease and grace like seamless river. Too many citations, lapses, and incorrect references, too long or too short. So, problem to be investigated. Tips and tricks: read and read, take notes, talk to supervisor, experts, fellows, write topics, get confused and get afraid, generate a number of research questions, systematize research questions, cut down these in line with your coherent thinking. Write the PhD proposal. Just suppose the thesis topic, abstract, research field, subjects and objectives, research problem, background and justification of the research, chapter 1, literature review, methodology, this is a literature review, second, 1 or 2 sometimes, methodology, 3, chapter, significance of the study, clearly in the first chapter, it varies, limitations and delimitations in the first chapter, summary in the first chapter, references. So when we wake up in the morning, we have two simple choices: go back to sleep and dream, or wake up and chase those dreams. So choice is yours. So thank you. God bless you.